Welcome back to Dad's office. Glad you guys could make it by. Today I just kind of wanted to show you my Bark River collection. Now a few of these I haven't seen very many videos on YouTube, so we definitely need to do some testing and make some videos for you guys to see. So here we're gonna have the Crash Axe A2 steel, razor sharp. Interested to see how it does. Here, that's the Crusader CPM 3V, and all of these are razor sharp, by the way. They come that way out of the box from Bark River. Pretty happy with the quality and the workmanship. This here is the Survivor. This is going to be the Bravo 1.25. This is the Mountain Man Dadley. And this one is the Gunny Scandi. And like I said, all the actual knives are CPM 3V. The Crash Axe is A2. The sheaths that go with them are on the outside. Now the ones I haven't seen any videos on hardly are the Crash Axe, the Dadley, and the Scandi. So we definitely need to test those out. Now I have tested the Scandi. It works wonderful. The other two I have not. But not only are we going to try out these by themselves, I feel like we need to compare them with similar other ones. Like I believe this Estwing Camper Axe would probably be a pretty decent comparison to the Crash Axe. They both have a convex grind, although this Estwing is nowhere near as sharp as the Crash Axe. The Crash Axe will actually shave hair. I shaved some on my arm. But at any rate, I feel like that would be a good test. I mean, as you can see, they're pretty comparable in size. Let's see, on weight. The Estwing's going to be just a little bit heavier, but not a whole lot. I mean, I do think the Estwing will probably perform better. To me, this kind of reminds me of a fireman's axe, which would, tend to make me think this would be more of, like, say, an entry type tool than, a wood hog. But we'll find out. We will find out. Also, on the Crusader here, which has, destroying everything here, which has the black and red linen micarta handles with red liners. Also CPM 3V, like I say. This has an 1 inch blade or something like that, which it is razor sharp. And I have tested it, and it is a phenomenal knife. Now, what could we test that against? That's the real question. Well, I suppose we could always test it against the Cold Steel Trailmaster, which is a little bit longer, but I don't know that that would make much of a difference. Or we could try it against an SP51 by Ontario. Which, spoiler alert, I am not a big fan of these handles. mainly because of this hook right here. That hook right there, when you're chopping, if your hand gets up against that hook, it hurts. It really does. But we'll try it out. Why not? And one thing I can say, these three knives right here, well, technically this one too, but these three right here are all the Bravo style handles, and they are phenomenal. Just like everybody says, they do fit great. They do feel great. They are wonderful. Also, another one we might try against the Crusader is the commonly known BK9, which, as you've probably noticed, most of these are new. They have not actually been thoroughly tested. They've been messed around with a little bit, but nothing real hard. Now, the Bark Rivers, believe it or not, they have. I've chopped quite a bit with those and batoned and everything else, and I know batoning's not a good thing, but let me tell you, you're not going to break those CPM 3V. These things are over a 1/4 inch thick. I mean, you know, you're not going to break that batoning. I mean, you can't baton something big enough with that to break it. But that's what people say. Or we could try it against the Hunglis. Everybody's familiar with the Hunglis. It might have a bit of an advantage though, the Hunglis. It is a good couple inches longer than the Bark River, but I don't know, the convex grind of the Bark Rivers does really make quite a difference in what I've seen so far. Now that would be all of the larger ones that I could put up against the Crusader that I have. Now the Survivor, which is like around just a hair over a 7-inch blade, I don't have any BK7s. I wish I did. I need to order one, I guess, but you know, that would probably be a pretty decent comparison. But this Survivor, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or not. I really liked the Crusader, but this Survivor, I don't know. It's got a really nice feel to it. It carries well. It's, you know, I don't know. It's pretty maneuverable, kind of, you know, light in the hand. I mean, it works good. You can do the nice big chopping task, but you can also, you know, choke up. And you can do the finer stuff, you know, feather sticking or whatever you might decide to do like that. So maybe we'll just throw it in with all that other mix and just see how it goes. And then this is the Bravo 1.25, which has about a 5-inch blade on it. Oh, and I also forgot, this is the regular black canvas micarta. No big deal there. On this one, same as this knife. Black and red linen micarta, red liners. This one, however, does have the brass hardware. Obviously, the idea being they match. So far, and I have used this one as well, and it's an excellent knife. I mean, this is one of those knives that, well, really everything on this table, I do believe that I would trust with my life. Maybe with the exclusion of this, because this knife is just a little bit different. It's not quite, you know, survival-y type knife. It's more, well, we'll get into that in a minute. So, what could we put up against this for some of our testing? Well, we have this, the White River GTI, which I think would be a pretty good comparison. I mean, they're both similar in size. The Bark River, of course, is going to be a little bit thicker. But as far as blade length goes, they're pretty much the same blade length. Now, they are different profiles. They are ground to different profiles. The GTI, it looks to me, and I could be wrong, but it looks to me like it's probably more of a hollow grind. It might be a saber. I'd have to really look it up and see. But one of the main noticeable differences is the White River here has the finger choil up front, which would really help out as far as doing your small work, you know, feather sticking, trap making, things of that nature. And also, surprisingly, this Rocky Mountain scalloping, they call it, or whatever, is actually surprisingly really comfortable. I didn't think it would be until I got it in my hand, and it feels really good. So, I mean, if you ever get the chance to hold one and try it, definitely do, because I sure thought that I would not like that whatsoever. Now, on a knife this size, you know, used more for chopping, that might not be so good. But on a smaller knife like this, outstanding. And this one is also S35 VN, whereas the Bravo's CPM 3V. So, we shall see, I suppose. And what else do we have that we can try? Oh, maybe this one would be this would be a good one for the Survivor, maybe. The Benchmade Arvensis. That would be a good one to put up against the Survivor, I think. It is just a hair shorter of a blade, but not by much. I mean, we're talking maybe a ½ inch. Now, not quite as thick, though, mind you. I mean, this Benchmade is not near as thick as that Survivor, but it does also have the finger choil for the up front close work, and it does feel good. It's also got like I can't remember if it's micarta or G10, but they feel basically the same to me anyway. It's a Siebert design, 154 cm. Is the steel on the Benchmade. So I think that would be good. I mean, I don't know that it would really be an equal comparison to the Bravo. This Benchmade's kind of just right in between the two, really. But, yeah, we'll try it. We'll try it and see. Alright. I think that's going to be about it as far as the Bravo end of things. Now, moving on to the Mountain Man. This one I'm going to show you a little more up close because it is just a beautiful knife. The natural and the red burl handle with the mosaic pins. Also CPM 3V. Now this knife, like I said, is not really primarily going to be like an outdoors kind of knife. I mean, it could be, but it's very thin. Well, it's not super thin, but even say compared to the Gunny, you can see that it is quite a bit thinner. And then compared, like, say, to the Bravo, major difference there. So this one, it is more of a Kephart style blade with the spear point, but I would use this knife more, well, I mean, I would use it in the kitchen, but I mean, I would say more like at camp, you know, in food prep, things like that. That's really where this knife, I think, would more so excel, Now, could you baton things with this? Of course you could. Smaller stuff. I mean, again, it's also CPM 3V. I don't think it would break. I really don't. I mean, if it did, no big deal. Bark River's got an outstanding warranty. So I would give it a shot. I mean, I guess why not, right? Now, something, I don't really have anything too close to that. Well, I kind of do. Hold on, I'll be right back. Now, that didn't take long. You might recognize this, the Ontario Blackbird in SK5. It's going to be very similar to the Mountain Man. The Mountain Man is going to be a little thinner. Again, the Ontario is going to have a lot larger of a handle. However, the Ontario is kind of classified as a survival-y knife. Full flat grind, very sharp spine. Excellent for ferro rod. So we could try that up against that. I think that'd probably be a pretty fair comparison. Although, like I said, batoning, I don't know that that one's going to do very well. This one, I wouldn't have a doubt batoning. I mean, you're only going to be batoning, you know, smaller logs anyway. You know, you're not going to be doing those 6-inch wide logs with a knife like this anyhow. So I don't know, I would try that. Here's another nice little one that maybe we could kind of put up against the Mountain Man there. This is a Spyderco Bow River, probably seen of it. Now it's HCR13 MOV, so I mean it's not going to be a super steel like these. However, it's a Phil Wilson design. Unfortunately, made in China. This is about one of my only made in China knives, is the Spydercos. And I don't have a whole bunch of those, but they do make a pretty good knife. But I will tell you, this little bugger is sharp and pointy. I accidentally poked myself in the hand last night just cleaning them up. I didn't think I was ever going to stop bleeding. So it's going to be nice and thin and slicey as well. Those are going to be about the same thickness. Just about. Now, of course, I do believe the Spyderco is going to be a lot more slicey than the Mountain Man, but maybe that would be a good test against like food prep and things of that nature. And moving on to our last one. This is the Gunny Scandi, which DBK did a video on the Gunny Scandi saying it's, you know, their favorite knife, one of their favorite knives, whatever. Thought I'd try it out. It's the C-Tech handle, also CPM 3V, and it says Scandi. However, I believe it to be a Scandi Vax, but it works real good. It works real good. I mean, we could put it, you know, we could put it up against the good old Moras, you know, if we wanted to. It does have a pretty sharp spine on it. No trouble scraping a ferro rod. Again, CPM 3V. I do really like those handles. They just have a look about them. I don't know what it is, but it almost looks like snake skin or something like that. I don't know, but I really, really like that. But when I ordered it, I thought it would really be too small for my hand, and really it's not. It surprised me. Now, as far as like the, I don't know, girth of it, I guess I'd say, for me, I have bigger hands. I wear, you know, large to extra large size gloves, so I've got pretty good size hands. And for me, the handle could be a little bigger. It's not terrible at all. It feels really good. It's just, it is kind of small, and I feel like when I'm using it, I'm having to overexert my hand because the handle's not quite as thick. Whereas the Bravo is much better. So I could maybe see even a Bravo 1, you know, being a little shorter than this 125 would probably be a better option for me. So maybe that's something we'll address at another time. So what could we put against the Gunny? Of course, we could do a Mora. Definitely would not be batoning with the Mora because I do not have a Garberg, so no full tangs. So no batoning. So it would strictly be shaving, carving, feather sticking, ferro rod if you want, that kind of thing. So let's see. I guess we could always do the good old Benchmade 200 Puko. Excellent little knife here. Also CPM 3V and very affordable. Right now, as of the time of this video, I think these are going for like 127 on DLT. I do believe, which all these Bark Rivers were ordered from DLT. Most of the other stuff came from various different places, but all the Bark Rivers came from DLT. But yeah, I think, now I have used both of these knives, not necessarily put them like in a head-to-head, but I have used both of them. And I mean, they are going to be very, very close. But two totally different handles, two totally different grinds. I mean, they're completely different knives. And believe it or not, this spine's not really sharp enough for a ferro rod. I mean, you can get a few sparks here or there, but nothing really. Not like the Gunny. So, I mean, those two would be a really great comparison to each other. And I don't know if this would really be fair to put up against the Gunny, but this is the Spyderco Bushcrafter. Or I'm sorry, Bushcraft, not Bushcrafter. It's actually the Bushcraft UK. And this is 01 tool steel. And this model, it does have the G10 handles, which, whoops, sorry, was off camera there. Does have the G10 handles, which look excellent. But this model, being the Bushcraft, is very hard to find anymore. And I actually found this brand new and went ahead and picked it up because once I got it in my hand, it just feels just outstanding. I mean, this knife feels like you could use this thing for hours on end and your hand would never ever get tired. I don't believe. And it's, you know, it's even smoothed out back here for doing your, you know, your stabbing stuff, and of course rocking spine on it. Very, very sharp, but it's not gonna be, I don't think, a fair deal for the Gunny to put it up against that. I would say it would need to go up against the regular Bushcraft from Bark River. although the blade thickness is going to be about the same on them. And, well, the blade size is going to be about the same too, actually. Real close. Real close, but I don't feel it's fair, because I have used the Gunny. I've not used this one yet, but I know this one's going to feel a lot better. So I don't know, that's something. Maybe we'll have a Scandi grind shootout one day or something, who knows. We'll just have to see how that goes. But I think that's all I'm gonna have for you today. Let me know in the comments below which ones you want me to start with and what you want to do and all that, because I definitely want to I want to test some of these and put them up against each other and see what's what. I mean, I kind of think the Bark Rivers are probably gonna, do better, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I'm not too sure about that. They're excellent knives, and they are definitely top quality, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the better knife. I mean, that's gonna come down to basically the individual. What works great for me may not work great for you. So I guess we shall see. And as always, thanks for stopping by. And always remember, if you don't listen, you'll learn. God bless. Have a good day.